talking to Mrs. Wayth, the principal of the Lethbridge Primary School. First, welcome, Ms. Wayth.
Thank you, Bill.
And how long have you lived in Lethbridge?
I've lived in Lethbridge 15 years.
Yeah.
I've taught at the school, my second time at the school. I've been head teacher for 4 years now, and I taught here in the 70s for 3 years.
Yeah. And, could you tell us a bit about the history of this school, please?
The history of the school is quite interesting. Way back when, there was 2 schools. One was just up the road that way, and the other one was down the road that way. And then in 1874, they established this school. It's built out of local bluestone, of course, and we do have all the old records. The first 5 names on our records of 1874 are Dillons, and we are still teaching Dillons, with more to come, which is quite an achievement over a period of time. The school has changed in many ways, but it's still got its old character, and it's a classified building, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah.
And we're sitting on 6 acres of land here. That's our pine plantation up there, and at the moment we have 96 students. We look like having 100 next year, 100 plus next year.
It's changed a fair bit over the years, like you've got portables now, and
well, not a great deal. Actually, we need a lot of changes to bring us up with modern school. I mean, we have no staff room. We didn't have water in the building, in that building over there till 1975. Yeah. It's pretty primitive when you look at some of the bigger schools in Geelong. Yeah. We've had the middle portable for quite some time. We got that in the 70s. The other one about 83, and then that one we got 2 years ago. That one came over from Maud. We have 5.5 teachers.
5.5?
Yes, well we have what they call a 0.5. She only works half a week. So she's called a half a teacher. She loves it being called that. But many of the things that you see around the Parents Club have done, like the establishment of the tennis court, that was done, and the rebound wall, that was built by the Parents Club, the ladies, in 1957. They raised the money for that. Up until then, this was all chips, dust from the quarry. When it wore off, like gravel, they'd go to the quarry and get a couple of truckloads of chips and put them around here so that they'd have sort of a dry area. In days gone by, there were 2 ovals. This one was the little people's oval, and where the pine trees are was the big people's oval. And then in the 20s, they used to hire out where the pines are to local farmers, and they would plough it up and plant potatoes or onions or something like that, which is the crop around here, onions in particular around here. And then in the 50s they put in the pine plantation. But you know, the building itself is a fascinating old thing. We've kept it in very good repair because it's quite easily, you know, you have to look after them. So and it can't be changed anyway, but there are plans eventually for all this to be a new building to go with that building. That'll be the teaching area, and that will be the admin staff area, office and that sort of thing inside. The outside of the building can never be changed.
Will that be made out of wood as well?
Yeah, well it'll be made out of something that will tone in with the school. But of course we'll have to wait a long while for that. At the moment we can't even get an office, so no whatever.
What about the bell over there?
The bell, well that's the story. We had to buy a new bell last year because the bell which was cast, the bell that was there was cast in 1938 and it finally disintegrated. It couldn't be repaired anymore. The stand that bell's on was built by Mrs. Donaldson's husband Ian. Yeah. He built that, but before that, from what I can work out from the old records, the bell was around in the garden there on a tower. Now what happened to the original bell I don't know. I only know about which we still have. We're going to have it mounted inside. It was in the 30s, that one. But if you go around the garden around there, there's a stand, parts of an old stand, and they tell me that's where the bell originally was, up on this stand. The original bell, I don't know what happened to it.
We'll have a quick look around the school now, and then these are the newer toilets. Do you know what year they were?
Yes, they were put in the 70s. That's 76, 77.
And we'll just get a full shot of the building. There's the sheds over there. What are they used for?
The garage is the art storage area. Then we have a storeroom for the parents' club. Then we have a covered-in area there for the children, and a sports shed in behind that, and then we have shelter sheds. Our new shelter shed we got from Sutherland's Creek at the beginning of the year when they closed Sutherland's Creek down.
And all the students come here then, didn't they?
In the olden days there were 2 rotundas in that area. Actually, Meredith still have their rotundas, but a couple of members of the school council of Lethbridge just like to throw things away because they were old, so they went to the tip, unfortunately. But they were here for since the turn of the century. Absolutely fascinating little old buildings, but get rid of them, you see, and that's it. But Meredith have kept theirs, and it's unfortunate.
In the background we can see the big tower. That's the...
Yes, that's the old water tower.
Yeah.
They tell me there's no water in it, but you can always hear water running.
Yeah. And did that supply the town with water as well?
Yes, that's a storage for the town. The water actually comes from Lal, right in front of the school here, and it used to store it in there to be taken into the town, but they've got a different setup now, of course, something much more modern. In the olden days, there was a rose garden around about here where the tennis court is, and we are now establishing a heritage rose garden. It's out the front. It's just been established. People up the road at Camrose Cottage, whose grandchildren happen to go to the school, donated the roses for us, old-fashioned roses. What we're trying to do is to get the school back to as close to what we used to have many years ago. I'm very into the history of the place, and the parents are in full of support. I've got some photos, and we're making a historical collection, and it's all part of the school.
Is the tennis courts?
Of their area.
Is the playground?
Yes, that's been there. That was here many years ago.
Many.
That was the big tree, Phil. Do you remember the big tree?
Yep. It's a nice cubby hut.
Down because it was getting dangerous. We've had to lose a lot of the cypresses because they're very
so
old,
big.
over 100 years old, most of the cypresses. And we've had to cut a lot down because they've become very dangerous.
There's the plantation right up the back
that
corner.
Area at the front of the school, you probably remember, was all cypresses.
Yeah.
One day I was standing at the front door in a high Lethbridge wind, and one of them just lifted out of the ground, one of the cypress trees. And it was just blowing, and half of the roots were lifting up out of the ground.
Well, there's the oval.
Very environmentally conscious here, so we've planted many trees to replace the cypresses. We'll have to go eventually, as you can see, many of them are on the land. The kids get comfortable here with fine cones.
Are they allowed to climb the trees anymore? Or?
That playground there was built with pine logs from our pine plantation.
Oh, right.
Back in the 70s they took some trees out, took them to Ballarat, had them treated, brought back and built this playground.
Is that the newest portable or?
Yes, that's the one that came from Ward. Ward was the start.
Is the sandpit? That's where the original toilet was, wasn't it?
Yep.
And another portable. What year did that come in?
That one came about 73, the middle one, and we got the other one about 85.
Oh. And that end one, was that the...
Yeah, that's 85.
85.
But on the new master plan they've drawn up for us, that will be, the building will go there and around here in the sand pit.
Right, all the way around.
It will be accessed by a library.
Oh, that's it. So you just got to wait for the funding and...
Yes, we've just got to wait. We're not holding that.
Yep.
Right, we're inside the Bluestone building. Originally it was one long building. In 1927 they put this wall in and put the extension on the front of the school. Over here is the fireplace with the original mantle and the stone slab down there. The only door was the one behind us, and at the turn of the century there were 116 children here, 2 teachers.
So they all had to go through this door?
Yes, they all had to go in and out of that door. And this, of course, was was the blackboard area. These doors weren't here, they were put in when they put the extension on the front. If you look up there, you can see on the bars the rings, where later they had curtains to break the classes up. Each of the bars through the building have got the rings on them. They're all stuck together now with many coats of paint. But that's what they were there for curtaining off areas when they needed them.
Was this skylight in here at the start as well?
Yes, that skylight was there, and the other one.
Yeah.
There's another one in the other room.
What's this this plaque over here for?
That's a plaque to honour the from the First World War. Library, sick bay, meeting room, you name it, multi-purpose room. You name it, this is it.
This used to be a part of a class though, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes, well this was all the one building. So this is the other end of the building. So it's for a building of that age, it's very large, really.
Yeah.
Because normally they only built small ones.
The roof.
And of course the platforms have gone, and all the other bits and pieces.
Over here was where the we were talking about before, the chimney.
Yeah, the chimney. That's the chimney. The fireplace is of course filled in with your mantelpiece, and the slab, of course, is still there. And that was still there when they put this wall in, and they just used to light the fire, and the heat just used to go sort of each side. Then it was filled in, and then the fire brigade decided that we had to have a door because if the porch was on fire, the kids in this room couldn't get out. So that door came from Lethbridge Primary School when it was burnt down some years ago. That was one of the doors that didn't get burnt. So the ministry put that in there as a fire door. In case of fire, if we had to get the kids out in a hurry. Because as you see, because you can't open the windows don't go up and down. The windows open out about that far. So they only come out to where those boards are.
Those
and
windows.
Of course, they're all glued up with 99 coats of paint too.
Those windows are part of the original.
Yes, they're all part of the original building.
At the front of the building. This part's an extension, isn't it, Mrs. Wayth?
Yes, put on in 1927, yeah.
Yep. There's heaps of greenery around. Where did you say the rose?
The rose garden's just over there. We're re-establishing the Heritage Rose Garden, which was in the area of the tennis court back in the 20s.
Look around.
Back in the 20s, they also had a picket fence.
Yeah,
which
at the
I'm
front.
fighting very hard to get back because we desperately need a new front fence.
There's where's that Gordon Hines or someone opened a plaque? He did a plaque
there.
over here, somewhere. Is it? Oh, there we
Two
go.
of them, one there and one up there. You
Close
can see
up.
the stumps of some of the old pines that were here, the old cypresses.
Yeah.
They couldn't get them out, so they've got a lot of the stumps out, but there's still some there.
All the big trees have been pulled down from the front. Just
They
about.
had to come down, they wasn't going to.
Yeah.
We had one growing into the telegraph, the electricity pole. Paul Briggy used to take great delight to climb that one and get up there near the wire.
Yeah, I remember he got stuck up there once.
Yes, we had to go and get him down.
There's a quick view.
They're our new gardens along there. They're our new bird gardens.
Alright. There's the flag. The flagpole? Was that part of the original? The flagpole, was that part of the original?
No.
Do you know when that come in? Oh, right. It's, yeah. There's the bike racks.
And new bike racks, they're only about 5 weeks old.
Yeah. Keeping up with the times. That's just about the whole school now, isn't it? Right, thanks very much for your time, Mrs. Wayth.
That's all.